some lunch. It is a beautiful on the lake.
You know, there's a lot going on always in the world of sports. But, you know, this time of year with football kind of on the tail end and, you know, season, Luke, is that the past couple of weeks, and you know, that's been. And, you know, it's funny how it always seems to happen in down times. You know, it's funny how these stories, you know, if they happen in the middle of college football season or they happen some other time, maybe they don't get as much attention. But, you know, when you're looking for something and you're trying to find something to talk about out there in the world of sports, all of a sudden one of these stories pops up, and then, you know, that's what everybody focuses on, it seems like, 24/7.
Yeah, I agree, and it also depends on who you are. If some other kid that is third-string punter for Oklahoma State steals $32 worth of crab legs, we don't ever hear about it.
That's exactly right.
But, I mean, that comes with the territory to me. And, of course, we're talking about Jameis Winston at the Publix in Tallahassee. To me, the bigger you are, the more the spotlight's on you. You can't do things like that. And look, I'll tell you, Brett, I got the pleasure of interviewing Jameis Winston a few times as part of the AHSA radio network. Mm-hmm. Got to talk to him extensively. He seemed like the nicest kid. I don't know what in the world's going wrong with this guy, but I totally believe the Tallahassee Police Department botched that rape case, or quote-unquote rape case with him. I believe there was a lot of cover-up. I believe they're not out of the woods, nor is Florida State as a university. I think they're both going to be facing some other issues from that, maybe even Jameis Winston in terms of financial repercussions when the lawsuit comes out, which it will. I don't believe that's over. And then you have the audacity to go to a grocery store, and you don't try. It's not even like you're trying to steal, say, something from the impulse aisle. A pack of gum. Mm-hmm. You know, if you were doing that, I'd chalk that up to being just stupid. And you know, kids being kids. I mean, it's not smart, and you shouldn't do it. But I would say, okay, I can almost buy that. You're going to try and steal crab legs, man? I mean,
it's not even about what you're stealing as well. It's the fact that I think you used the correct word, the audacity, and I think that's where we need to start with him. And I think it goes back to his attitude and the way let me tell you, and this has nothing, and this really does, and I know it's going to be hard to believe, this really has nothing to do with me being an Auburn fan after the national championship game. His post-game speech was disgusting. If I were a teammate of his on Florida State, after he got done and we all got in the locker room, I'd say, if I were one of those offensive linemen, I'd say, hey, buddy, you know, we were out there, and without us, you didn't do squat. And if I can remember correctly, you were so rattled out of your cage in the first half, you didn't know which sideline to go to. So how about let's tone down the arrogance and act like you put us on your back and you carried us down the field, because in reality that's not what happened. But when you're that arrogant, you do have the audacity to go out and do things, and you make it feel like, or you seem to feel like, the law and rules don't apply to you, and you just do whatever you want to do. And Luke, I think that he has achieved such high fame so quickly, you know, winning the Heisman Trophy last year, winning that national championship, everything just around him in such a quick fashion that he feels like he's untouchable. He feels like he can do whatever he wants to. But, I mean, we're seeing the results here over the last 6 to 8 months of what we saw as a player off the field with the way he talked and what he did. I mean, he's cocky. I mean, there's no other way to put it. And the way he talks and the way he acts, you know that he's got that feel about him that he can go out in public and he can just do whatever the heck he wants to do.
Yeah, listen, I agree. And you had heard some bad things about him in high school in terms of his attitude. But again, when I talked to him a couple of times, I thought he seemed like a really nice kid, really well put together. And that's why this is even dumber. The situation, obviously, with the rape situation, that couldn't be any dumber to put yourself in that situation, number one. But number two, to do something like this when I know you're smarter than this. I mean, it's not like this kid doesn't know anything. I mean, he had a pretty good education in high school, and then he's been at Florida State for 2.5 years, and he doesn't know better than to do something like this, and it really makes no sense. I tell you, Brett, it's like he has a self-fulfilling prophecy of getting caught. It's like he wants to self-destruct subconsciously, because there's no other reason that somebody would do something this stupid under that spotlight. When, let's be frank, I mean, first of all, the NCAA has already come out and said you can get whatever you want to eat. And some of the teammates tried to rush to his defense. Well, right now everything's closed down because of this, because of that. Let me tell you something. Jameis Winston isn't your typical – he's not DJ Fluker. He didn't come from nothing.
No, you're exactly right.
I mean, DJ Fluker had nothing ever. I mean, he lost just about all his possessions twice. So Jameis Winston didn't come from that type of household.
That's right.
He came from – he didn't come. He wasn't Donald Trump, Donald Trump's son, but he had enough money to be able to deal with this. And if he wanted something, he could have gone anywhere and gotten it. I feel quite certain. I mean, just like Nick Marshall can go anywhere in Auburn and get what he wants to, A.J. McCarron could have gone anywhere in Tuscaloosa and get what he wanted to. That's the way it works, and we all live with that. So why you have to go to Publix and steal tells me either one, you're that ignorant, or number two, it's a cry for help that you feel like you have no guidance. And that blame some of this on Jimbo Fisher. Why doesn't Jimbo Fisher do something more? I mean, he should really take a firm hand here. There have been some debates on CBS Sports.com about whether or not he should be suspended for the opener. Of course, he's suspended from the baseball team, which, I mean, big deal.
I mean, you know what he thought about that? Oh, I'll get a break now.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably what went through his mind there. So I'm just to the point with him where, and I know Randy and Andy talked about it yesterday on Sports Call. You know, some of these guys, they're so talented. I mean, all you got to do is just stay the course. You have the future already wrapped up. You know he has a chance to do what no other player's ever done as far as getting drafted in the first round of both Major League and NFL. He is a prolific player, but it's just like he's destined to screw it all up. And you know, his athletic talent, and I mean, even if he got kicked out of college, Luke, all right, let's just say if something happened and he's out there, the NFL and the Major League in Major League Baseball are still going to draft him. That's the unfortunate thing. That's why he's out there floating around, and it should send a message to Florida State. It should send a message to all of us that pull for college teams, is a lot of these guys don't give a rip about that college. It's all about them, and they know that if they do get in trouble, they still are going to move on and do ultimately what they want to do, and that's play professional baseball or football or basketball, whatever it is. Everybody out there needs to get all of these misguided thoughts out of their head that these players are so devout and devoted to playing for that particular school. Some of them are, but then you get a lot of these high-profile guys, Luke, that they are tunnel visioned, and they don't matter. It doesn't matter who they hurt or what they get, what happens to them along the way, just as long as they end up getting the end result that they want. And that's why I feel like he's out doing what he's doing.
All right, let me do it. Let me put this another way. And here's I think we as fans are also partially to blame, okay, because we demand all this winning, and everybody's going to – Jameis Winston, he's still going to be drafted, probably number one pick in the draft.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
Because whoever has the number one pick in the draft, their fans are going to say, pick him, pick him, pick him. Their staff is going to say, pick him. I mean, because he is uber talented. But you look down the list. I mean, Alabama and Auburn have dealt with. Alabama just re-signed DJ Petway.
I know.
He was involved with that situation on campus. Auburn has signed 2 quarterbacks that have been basically booted from other schools. Mm-hmm. I mean, because we demand to win, so we overlook that. That's not a big deal. That was when it's us, it was a big misunderstanding. Yeah. When it's Jameis Winston, it's awful. And I do think when it's Jameis Winston, it's awful. He should be setting a higher standard because of who he is. But, I mean, we're not completely innocent as Alabama and Auburn either.
No.
And so maybe we just I'm going to say it'd be great if we take a step back and figure out what's important, but that's not going to happen. No. It's just not going to happen. We're paying coaches too much. We demand winning too much. There's too much money out there. So this type of thing will continue to happen. And you know why he feels untouchable? We've made him feel that way. Yep. It's not necessarily his fault. And I do think it's a cry for help.
Well, I
think he's a jerk for it.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, and I agree almost with everything you just said. And let's not say that we've made him into who he is. I don't agree with that at all. I think that is part of what it is. He has enough sense, Luke, to make right decisions. I mean, he is in a situation now. I mean, it's obviously a very smart person to be able to pull off and do what he does. You know, you can have great athletic ability, but if you don't have a mind to go with it, doesn't really matter. He's got a mind. He has the knowledge to do what he has to do to be a quarterback of a major football team and be a star pitcher for the baseball team. Look, I'm not buying it. You know, that's part of it. Yeah, we support and these guys are rock stars in the eyes of grown men. Okay, not just kids, but grown men on college campuses. But you got to have a level enough head, and you got to have a coach. And I'm with you. I think it goes back to Jimbo Fisher. When is he going to come out of the clouds and go out there and say, look, I know you won the national championship last year, and I know you're a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, but you're going to have to chill out a little bit.
Well, no, I totally agree, and I don't think it's all our faults, but I believe we contribute to the mess that is most of these athletes and their attitudes. But Jimbo Fisher, look, in my respect, probably doesn't mean a lot to him, but I would certainly have a lot more respect for him if he came out and said, you know what, Jameis, even if you made him sit for a half against Oklahoma State in that first game, I'd certainly respect him a lot more.
256-234-6221. Just getting started here on the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. We'd love for you to be part of it. Up against our first break. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion and take your calls. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR's right after this.
On Tap is brought to you by Hyundai of Auburn. You owe it to yourself. Call Hyundai of Auburn today at 334-321-0777 and visit them online at HyundaiofAuburn.com.
S&S Discount Tire on Cherokee Road in Alex City is the Lake Martin area's largest volume tire dealership and a place for everything mechanical. Weary and the S&S Tire crew are ready to serve you with double the capacity from routine oil changes to full engine overhauls and all transmission work. S&S Tire can handle it all. That's S&S Tire on Cherokee Road. Call David or Weary today at 256-215-8822. Visit S&S Discount Tire at 224 East South Street in Dable, now in 2 locations.
Welcome to ASA, a full-service salon and spa that caters to men, women, and children. Our product lines are Redken, Keratin, Sahag, and Moroccan Oil. We have 8 master color specialists, a skin esthetician, a licensed massage therapist, and a licensed nail technician.
We have introduced the Keratin Smoothing Treatment. It is perfect for all hair types, and it reduces frizz up to 95%.
From the time you arrive until the time you leave, it is our goal to exceed your expectations. Please call ASA Salon and Spa for all of your styling needs.
JR Sports Bar and Grill. Mondays, all-you-can-eat fingers, $13.25. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, all-you-can-eat wings, $12.25. Every day, kids in uniforms eat for $1.99. Alabama Street in Alexander City and Highway 280 in Sylacauga.
Lake Martin Washington Details, 734 on Airport Drive here in Alexander City. Phone number 256-749-6351. Remember now, they do offer gift certificates. They can do just a regular wash or a complete detail. They go that extra mile, and, of course, they use quality Alabama Auto Magic products. They're family-owned and operated. Again, give David a call. They'll be happy to pick up and deliver that vehicle right back to your job site, too. The good folks there at Lake Martin Wash and Detail.
Take this job and shove it.
Come visit your friends at ProLink at their new location at 1986 Airport Boulevard. Come see why ProLink in Alexander City gets more jobs from the leading automotive industry. And more jobs means more hires. More hires means a better chance for you to get back to work. So y'all get on down to ProLink today at their new office on Airport Boulevard and visit Miss Christie and see how they put the pro in ProLink.
It's political season. Get the most exposure for your campaign through Lee Marketing Group. yard signs, banners, decals, door hangers, postcards, business cards, video production, advertising, and more. Custom, professional, and engaging. Everything you need in one place. Contact us today. 888-533-6758. www.leemarketing.net. LMG. Success by design.
Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Brett Pritchard and Luke Robinson here with you till noon today. A beautiful, beautiful Saturday morning. Get out and about in any of the communities out there that you might be listening. Again, we appreciate you all out there listening or maybe watching on Charter Communications TV out there. Again, every Saturday morning right here, 10 to noon, got great sponsors, and, of course, JR Sports Bar and Grill has been our longtime corporate partner here on Sports Blitz, and we can't say enough about them. We really appreciate all that they do, not only for us, but for all the surrounding communities, and definitely right here in Alexander City, because they are fully supportive of youth athletics, and that's what community's all about, Luke. And we have such a great partner here at JR's. We can't say enough about them. So when you're in Alexander City or Sylacauga, make sure you stop in and try some of their great food. And if you're heading down to the lake today, which is a beautiful time to do that, instead of worrying about getting up and cooking all this food, why don't you just get JR's to cook it for you? You swing by and pick it up, and you just head on down to your boat or wherever it is that you might be hanging out on the lake today, and all the food is already done for you. So give them a call. 256-329-2328 is the number here at JR's to call in and get your order. But, Luke, here in segment number 2, we have talked in the opening about Jameis Winston, and I'd love to hear from people out there and get their thoughts. 256-234-6221 on this Jameis Winston situation. Of course, we'll talk about Donald Sterling as well, but I think everybody's just tired of talking about it. It's just drug out. I mean, the guy obviously is a little senile, and it made some comments in the privacy of his own home that are now sprayed all over the media. And, of course, V. Stefano now comes out and says that she don't really think he's – I mean, it's just funny how once everything's leaked out, how people backtrack and all. But we'll dive into that later. We'll go back to Jabu Winston for just a minute and talk about him. You and I both just agreed off the air that we didn't think that Florida State will win the national championship this year. And, I think it starts right now. It's not because they don't have the talent to do it. They did lose some players, but they've still got a lot of talent. And, of course, they've got him coming back, and their schedule's very favorable playing in the ACC. But you and I just both agree that something's going to end up happening, and they're not going to be able to pull off what they did last year. And I think the crumbling of the foundation is starting right now. Off the field, off season, with what Jameis Winston's doing, because obviously the focus just isn't there.
Yeah, I don't know necessarily that I agree that there's a crumbling of the foundation. I'm going to take a wait-and-see approach of that. They're still recruiting very well. They've got the NFL factory back up and running again, so I think that's very positive for Florida State. But I do think that this situation – the whole Jameis Winston situation, not just necessarily stealing crab legs, which every time I say that, I can't believe I'm saying, who's ever even heard of that? But I'm reading more on Winston. Going back to 2012, there was a BB gun fight where some windows were busted out at Doak Campbell Stadium, and he was involved with that apparently. He was also alleged to have stolen a soda from Burger King back in 2012.
Out of the little ketchup cups.
Yeah, and I mean, he's doing all these silly stupid things. It's remarkable to think on the football field he generally makes, aside from that first half against Auburn, he makes pretty incredible decisions.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just his athleticism taking over. I don't know. But, my goodness, I don't really know what else to say about this guy, but he's Johnny Manziel times 2, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, Manziel did some really stupid things. There's no doubt, but I didn't feel like Manziel did anything like or was ever involved with a rape situation.
No.
Never stole. He signed some autographs, and that probably wasn't very smart. But you know what? You could make the case that he deserves those. You could at least make that case. You can't make the case that Jameis Winston deserves crab legs for free from Publix.
No.
You can't make the case that he deserves to be able to do whatever he wants to with a female.
Let me go back and set the record straight of what I meant by crumbling a foundation. I'm not talking about Florida State's program. I'm not talking about their team, because I'm talking about this year, this particular team with him being the leader. You know, if he's the guy that's coming back to be the leader and he's doing all this junk, then it's showing me that there's some cracks in the foundation of this team. That's why I'm saying that I don't, and they're still going to have a good season.
Right.
I mean, but to win a national championship, everybody's got to be focused, and you got to have a little luck involved. Well, if he's off doing all this stuff and all the distractions, you know how distractions, what they lead to, Luke. It's hard to already overcome a lot of the things that are in the way to begin with. Then you add all these other external obstacles in there, it makes it tough. So that's what I meant by a crumbling of this particular team's foundation, because they are talented enough to repeat, but they got to get out of their own way first.
Well, and I'm looking at their schedule. They start out against Oklahoma State at Jerry's World. That'll be an interesting game, especially if Jameis Winston were to be suspended, which I 100% believe he won't be. I don't believe Jimbo Fisher would do that. I just don't believe he would. I mean, there's too much at stake. Then they've got the Citadel, Clemson at home, at NC State, Wake Forest, at Syracuse, and Notre Dame at home. I don't believe they can lose any of those games. They're at Louisville. Louisville will probably be okay, but they've lost Teddy Bridgewater, so they're going to be starting over there.
That's really just a cream puff schedule, man.
Virginia at home, at Miami of Florida, Boston College, and then Florida at home. It's hard to pick out where the losses are, and I'll tell you, it's funny to me. I've seen a lot of people debate this SEC 8-game schedule versus a 9-game schedule of the Pac-12. Look, those teams don't play the same quality of play teams that the SEC teams play. I mean, it's beginning to really irritate me that the Pac-12 or the ACC or whomever thinks they play the same quality as the SEC, because you just flat don't. You don't in terms of the caliber of teams. That's how the SEC's won 7 straight. Notre Dame, for instance, is on a lot of ACC schedules, and USC fans love to say, well, we play Notre Dame every year. Well, guess what? Notre Dame played Alabama, and Alabama beat them like they stole crab legs from them.
That's exactly right. Let's go to the phone lines. Jerome in Alex City, you're on Sports, Saturday Sports Countdown.
All right, man. I just want to comment on Winston. I was watching the previews of him, and he made it look like it's funny. He's not really. He's laughing about it. It seemed like, and it seemed like if they would I mean, he went and ate, and he just got up and left. I mean, hello, where was the waitress when did nobody really see him when he got up and left? I mean, you know, that's just kind of seemed like it was crab legs. I mean, hello, but look like when they people like that, when these guys do this, they say like it's funny. I mean, they laugh about it. But if they would stick them with a good fine and maybe just kick them off the football team, and hey, maybe these players would quit doing what they need to be doing. I mean, on these campuses like that. I mean, off campus. I mean, off season. I mean, it's time for them to step up. They men. They ain't boys no more. They men. I mean, am I wrong or am I right or am I wrong?
Well, I think you're wrong in a couple of instances. I mean, I think you're right to be disappointed in him, Jerome, but you can't fine him. I mean, we don't pay him in the first place. And he apparently doesn't have $32 to buy the crab legs, so you can't fine him anything. And I don't think you can kick him off the football team right now. First of all, I mean, we're in a dream world if anybody thought that would happen anyway. It took a lot for Dorial Green Beckham had to shove a girl down some steps to be booted from the football team after all he had done. And Jameis Winston's a bigger name than he is and more important than he is. Jameis Winston's going to have to steal a lot of crab legs, the tartar sauce, cocktail sauce, drawn butter. He's going to have to steal it all before they even think about kicking him off that football team.
I mean, a lot of time when they do something like that, when the players do something like that, when they real famous or so-called so-so, man, if there'd been a little bit of guy that they never heard of, that probably wouldn't even got it on the news. But, I mean, you know, somebody big like Winston, let's say Ingham or something like that, a big name player, they'll get seen about. But anyway, it is a beautiful day out here in Alexander City, so everybody need to get out and enjoy. And, hey, if you need your car wash, down here in Auburn, West End is having a car wash down here from 11 to 2. So bring your car, bring your truck, bring wherever you want to buy there, and they'll wash them and give a donation. And it's a beautiful day in Roll Tide and Wake, man.
Jerome, thank you so much.
He said it all.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing left to say, man. I have to sign off after that call. But, folks, just hang on. We'll be right back right after this. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown.
For people of a certain age, like me, we remember the good old days. Drive-in movies, RC colas and moon pies, and driving your dream car for $200 a month or less. They're back at Hyundai of Auburn. North American Car of the Year, Elantra, $179 a month. International Car of the Year, Sonata, $199 a month. All Hyundais have superior gas mileage and America's best warranty. Hey, give me another RC.
Here you go.
Gary, we're working together again.
It's like the good old days, and I'm smiling.
In a world that's ever-changing, you have to be sure that your choices are the right choices. At Central Alabama Community College, you'll know you made the best choice. Whether choosing a technical degree program, taking courses to transfer to a 4-year college or university, or being a part of our national championship winning traditions, get a sharper focus on your life by choosing one of our 3 convenient locations: Alex City, Childersburg, and Talladega. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you. Central to your success.
Wireless Advantage is Lake Martin's Verizon premium retailer, located in the Marketplace Shopping Center on Highway 280 in Alex City. We've got all the latest cell phones, along with the latest Wi-Fi internet products, home phone options, and state-of-the-art tablets. Don't get caught in long lines. Get full Verizon service and products from Apple, BlackBerry, Droid HTZ, iPad, LG, Motorola, and Samsung right here at home. Visit Wireless Advantage in the Marketplace Shopping Center in Alexander City on Highway 280 for all your Verizon wireless needs.
Welcome to Zaxby's. How may I help you?
I wish to be a princess.
We can make that happen.
Thank you.
At Zaxby's, kids care. So in honor of the thousands of children we serve every year, we're proud to once again team up with Make-A-Wish. This year, we're helping to grant the wishes of 50 kids with life-threatening medical conditions. Because every child deserves a little star power. For more information on Zaxby's Kids Care, visit Zaxby's.com.
Lila's Engraving, celebrating 20 years of business in Alexander City, is proud to supply the Lake Martin area with all of its trophies, plaques, name tags, and any other engraving needs. Lila's also specializes in custom framing of any size picture or portrait. Lila's Engraving has been and continues to be a proud sponsor of Lake Martin area athletics. So go by and see or call Lila's Engraving at 256-234-6004.
It's the model year in closeout with the lowest prices of the year. Now at Lynch Nissan of Auburn, the 2014 models are here, and the 2013s have got to go while they last. Own the new 2013 Nissan Altima for just $19,900, or get a new 2013 Frontier, priced at just $18,900. Both with available 0% financing. The best deals of the year on the Nissans you want are here during the model year in closeout. Only at Lynch Nissan of Auburn, I-85 at exit 51. Online at lynchnissan.com.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Russell Do-It Center, offering a complete assortment of lumber, building materials, electrical, and plumbing supplies. Russell Do-It Center stores deliver first-class service, top-rate products, and competitive do-it-best pricing.
You see James Winston walking out to this sideways with his pictures in there. Welcome back to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Brett Pritchard, Luke Robinson. You really, after it's all said and done, not diminishing the importance of doing what he did, but I mean, all these pictures that people, how quickly people.
The gifs and the memes and all those.
It's unbelievable.
But I'll tell you what this made me think of. I swear, the moment I heard about this, you remember the movie Friday?
Oh yeah.
When Smokey was talking to Craig, and Craig had been fired for stealing boxes.
Yes.
He said, "Man, what you need boxes for? You making a fort? And you making a clubhouse?" And that's what I felt. I mean, like, I bet you Jameis Winston went back to Florida State and they're like, "What are you stealing crab legs for?"
Yeah, what do you do?
I mean, because first of all, they're not really easy to cook. I mean, they are. I mean, I bet you Jameis Winston doesn't know how to cook crab legs. It's very difficult to cook.
No,
you're
exactly right. You're right. I mean,
and if you don't have drawn butter, then it doesn't make a darn anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
Did he get some butter? He better have gotten some butter. I hope he at least got to eat them.
To slide right on out. So, but I mean, you know, the thing is that, you know, you said it at the beginning. You know, guys like him can go anywhere in town and get whatever they want to. If he walked up to the manager of Publix, he said, "Hey man, is there any way you can snag me a few of those? We're gonna have." He said, "Look," and you know what he would say? You know what the Publix manager say? "Absolutely, man. You know, I'll get you a little, whatever you call them. How do you call a group of crab? I mean, I'll get you a group of crab legs over here. I don't even know what you call them. A bundle of
a rocket of crab legs."
Yeah. So, but instead he's got but it goes back to the arrogance thing. Hey, I can walk in here and I can pretty much get what I want to get, and nothing's gonna happen to me. They're just gonna say, "All right, put it back." And I mentioned something to you off the air. It's like a kid, an immature kid, a practical joker. Everything is funny. You know, again, not diminishing any of this, but a BB gun fight, stealing Coke out of a fountain machine with ketchup cups and sitting there sipping them like they're little bitty cups. I mean, you know, that's little stuff that kids would do. They're waiting to get in trouble, to push their parents. How far can I go before my mom and daddy get on to me? How far can I go before somebody says something to me? That's exactly what it reminds me of.
And Brett, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about here, but I think Jameis Winston got in some kind of trouble his senior year and was either suspended for a game or got sideways with somebody for something.
You're right.
And I can't remember what it was. I mean, we need to pull it up. But so, I mean, there may have been a pattern of this, you know, or maybe it was baseball. Maybe it was a baseball thing.
Yeah, it's immature. I want to ask you this real quick. And I know, and I caught this while you were responding to Jerome. There's no way he's going to get kicked off football team. And for $32 worth of crab legs, I mean, he needs to be punished. But the baseball team did kick. Now, the baseball team did kick him off, and he is a big part of a team that's right there in the national championship hunt in baseball. Mike Martin decided to part ways with him. He said, "Look, I don't need this on my team right now." And I'll have to say that's pretty big, because, you know, they could have looked at it the same way and said, but what does that say about us in football, in college football versus college baseball? I know the money, I know where all this is going, but I mean, it's literally a double standard. It's two different standards. You can do what you want to do on the football field. I'm going to slap you on the wrist. You're still going to play. Over here in baseball, hey, they had just the same opportunity to do the same thing, and they decided to go the hard route and kick him off the team.
Yeah, and this isn't just a Florida State problem. I mean, even though Florida State should be thrown under the bus for this, but this isn't just a Florida State problem. I think this would go on at most of the larger universities. I don't exclude Alabama. I don't exclude Auburn. I think that's exactly how it would have been. But because it did happen at Florida State, they're taking the shots right now. And they should. Right. And I think the baseball team is probably falling on the sword for the football team, because that's what people can say now is, well, we booted him from the baseball team. Mm-hmm. But is there a Florida State fan over there, and I include the baseball coach, that thinks as much of the baseball program as they do the football program? There just isn't. And I wouldn't be surprised in the least, and maybe I'm throwing out conspiracy theories unwarranted, but if the athletic director said, all right, we're going to boot him from this and see if that sticks, see if this will, let it blow over after that, and it probably will. My guess is he will not face any punishment from the football team. We'll hear the old standard, we're going to handle this internally, which means nothing's going to happen.
Nothing's going to happen. 256-234-6221 to be part of the program here. And, again, I love your thoughts on what's going on. So let's go back to the phone lines. Charles in Alex City, you're on Saturday Sports Countdown.
Hey, how you fellas doing?
Man, we're good, Charles. How are you, buddy?
Oh, Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
You think talking about Jameis Winston, you think the head coaches now at colleges are like stricter than they used to be?
Their head coaches are a lot stricter than they used to be?
Yeah, like Jimbo Fisher down there at Florida State.
I don't know.
Look like, he would get in there and talk to this boy and just tell him that he's doing things wrong and he needs to quit it, like that shoplifting he did.
Yeah, I think you'll get in there and talk to him. I think he'll say, next time you need crab legs, you come see me.
Well, he's ultimately responsible for what he does down there, whether anybody wants to believe it or not. I know he can't follow him around, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but, he is responsible as the coach to set standards of what he expects out of his players. And right now, it appears that he's allowing Jameis Winston to just run amok and just do whatever he wants to do, and there's no repercussions. So I think this is an interesting time to see what Jimbo Fisher is going to do, because coaches get put in these situations all the time by big-name players. So how do they react? How do coaches react to that? That's a big deal, and I think I'm interested to see how Jimbo handles this, and I'm interested to hear what he has to say when he comes public.
Yeah, like I talk a lot about Nick Saban, but I just felt like the ball was playing to him. Nick Saban done chewed him out.
I mean, he may have chewed him out, but I'm not going to make any bones about it. I don't think Saban would have kicked him off either. I don't think anybody just about would have kicked him off the team for this.
But something needs to happen with him, because something else is going to eventually happen again.
Hey, reason I asked you, are they stricter than they used to be?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
I think they're more lenient. Charles, we got to run, brother. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate your call. 256-234-6221 to be part of the program. Up against a break. More to come here on the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Bucks Island is one of the oldest boat dealers in Alabama, serving boaters since 1948 with the largest boat showroom in the state. Bass boats featuring Skeeter, cruisers and sport boats featuring Monterey, pontoons featuring Crest, G3 and Voyagers, powered by Mercury and Yamaha. Bucks Island has sold over 10,000 boats, and with a full service and parts and accessories department to keep your boat in top condition. Don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote. Visit Bucks Island on Highway 77 in Southside or online at bucksisland.com. Give them a call at 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island, where our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
When you come to CarQuest, you'll find the quality parts you need and the service you deserve, along with the peace of mind that you've come to a place you can trust, where our people are happy to share their expertise to help you get it right. Whether you're a Saturday superstar or one of our many professional customers, CarQuest batteries are designed to match original equipment fit, form, and function, import or domestic, farm, marine, or recreational. Get started at CarQuest. Great people, great products, great prices. CarQuest Auto Parts.
Don't let pests take your house or business over. Wave the red flag. Red Flag Pest, owned and operated by Scott Davis on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, is licensed, insured, and bonded, and serves the Lake Martin area, specializing in lake homes, residential property, and industrial property. Call for a free inspection today, 256-825-0430, and visit us online at redflagpestcontrol.com. Red Flag Pest Control, when the problem has to stop. Guaranteed. Family owned and operated, Holly's Home Furnishings is the Lake Martin area's best choice for all of your furniture needs. Whether you're looking for something new for the living room, dining room, or bedroom, Holly's has something you'll love for every room in your house. Holly's has a great selection of furniture in the most popular names like Lane, Broyhill, Rowe Furniture, as well as the best names in mattresses like Sealy and Tempur-Pedic. You can even get beautiful home decor, everything your home needs, at Holly's Home Furnishings, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City. Visit their website at hollyshomefurnishings.com.
Excitement awaits you on beautiful Lake Martin. Alex City Guide Service can provide you with a charter trip of a lifetime.
Licensed charter guide David Hare has over 20 years of experience on Lake Martin, specializing in live bait fishing for trophy-sized saltwater striped bass, largemouth bass, and spotted bass. Call Alex City Guide Service today at 256-401-3089 or visit them online at www.alexcityguideservice.com.
For over 60 years, East Central Alabama has relied on Jackson Refrigeration for installation and service on all brands, including Rheem, Goodman, and York. Now we've expanded into A1 Four Seasons Heating and Air, a division of Jackson Refrigeration. We still make your comfort our priority and expect our staff to be the most experienced, dedicated, and trained to give you the highest quality of sales and service. When choosing your heating and air company, choose our family of professionals. The all-new A1 Four Seasons Heating and Air, the all-new division of Jackson Refrigeration. This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Dark Insurance, offering insurance for all your personal needs, including auto, boat, homeowners, and disability. Don't be in the dark. Call Dark Insurance at 256-234-5026.
Brett Pritchard and Luke Robinson here with you on a beautiful Saturday morning. We'd love to hear from you. Give us a call, 256-234-6221 to be part of the program. And, again, I want to thank everybody for listening down in the Auburn, Opelika area each and every Saturday on 95.9 and, of course, right here in the Lake Martin area on 97.5. Kowaliga Country and all our viewers throughout the state on Charter Cable out there. If you have Charter Cable, tune us in while Sports Blitz is on. And, of course, JR Sports Bar and Grills are home each and every Saturday. Kids eat off the kids' menu for $1.99 when they come in their youth league uniform. Doesn't matter if it's baseball, softball, tennis, the golf leagues are getting started up. If you want to come in here in your golf league uniform, anything, football, they will honor that. So make sure you come on out to JR Sports Bar and Grill. And Luke, we'll shift into Donald Sterling, and we got several things that we want to talk about, but go ahead and get this out of the way. Donald Sterling, he don't get it. I mean, let me just say this because, he's been silent up until now, and, he got caught saying something in the privacy of his own home that leaked out. But, in the privacy behind closed doors is where your true character lies. When nobody's watching or listening, you think, and some things that come out of your mouth is who you really are. Well, we found out who Donald Sterling was, and he's been living a lie for 30 years or so, however long he's on the Clippers. And then he comes out and he makes another buffoonish statement.
He said, and this is a quote, he says, "I wish I'd just paid her off." And he told this to something called DeJour.com, referring to
He don't get it.
Well, and Brett, I agree with you, at least in theory. But here's the thing: the guy's a billionaire. He owned a basketball team.
Yeah.
He seemed to, at least it appears he's getting it more than I am. I don't own a basketball team. I don't have $1 billion, but that doesn't make him a good person.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And he has no friends. Zero. None out there at all, period. And Larry King was on Colin Cowherd this week and talking about that because Larry King has been to some parties at his house because the two wives are friends. And he said people just hate going, but they feel like they have to because he contributes to some various charity events or various charities. But he is a complete jerk. And here's the irony in all this to me is he apparently has a disdain for blacks or any minority.
Of course.
And he dates a girl that's half Latino, half black. I do not understand that, and owns a basketball team. Which in the sport is 80% African American.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's exactly right. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. He uses people. He's a bad character guy, and he says this instead of coming out and apologizing and saying, you know what, I've got some issues. I did say some bad things. I'm paying the price for it now, but I'm truly sorry. He comes out and says. I should have just paid her off. And I know that obviously she's taping him for a reason so she could try to get something out of him. There's a reason why she's taping him. But, I mean, you don't come back in rebuttal after you've been the national headline of looking like a complete jerk and say something like that.
Well, there have been reports, and I don't understand this, and I've only seen it a couple of places, so I don't know the validity, but there have been reports that they routinely record each other's conversations, which I kind of don't buy that. I think she's a gold digger. She's got problems. And
point.
And I don't like her.
He's 80 years old.
I don't like her really much more than I like him.
I mean,
I do believe she taped that conversation with the full intent to leak it. She can say what she wants to. She can say what her story is.
Why would you tape something?
Why would you tape it? And then she said she gave it to a friend for safekeeping. Why? Why would you keep it? Why do you need to tape it to begin with? Because she's lying, and look, she's just as bad almost as he is.
Everybody's looking at her going, really? I mean, seriously. I mean, because they're like, we know why you're with him. Okay? I mean, we know why you're with an 80-year-old man. Oh, he has $1 billion. Oh, okay, it makes sense now because that's the only reason she's with him.
There's no doubt. And look,
I mean, is this Anna Nicole Smith all over again?
It is. It's a less attractive Anna Nicole Smith.
There's no doubt about it.
Anyway, to me, everybody likes to talk about his privacy and then the privacy of his own home. Okay, I get that. I do. I don't like it. I don't agree with his views. I think they're wrong. But I also think now that it's out there, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. The NBA did what it had to do. He is bad for the league. He's bad for the league's image. And it's not fair to the other owners and other teams because his presence devalues everybody else. Because there were going to be boycotts. There were going to be people that didn't come around to the NBA. It was going to be every franchise would have been devalued. So he has to go. Now, in true Donald Sterling fashion, he's going to fight this thing tooth and nail because he doesn't get it.
Yeah, he doesn't. Jonathan in Auburn. You're on the Saturday Sports Countdown.
Jonathan?
You with us, Jonathan? All right, Jonathan, if you're not there with us, we'll go back and try to pick up.
Here.
All right, Jonathan, there you go, Jonathan. What's up, man?
Oh, not much. I got a quick comment.
Okay.
About every talk show you go to, you listen to, everybody says, oh, they're just 18 years old or 20-year-olds when they do this. They make excuses for them. Well, I was 18 one time years ago, and I knew what was right and wrong. And the only difference is making them and just knowing not to do the wrong thing. It's a lot easier to do the wrong thing than it is to do the right thing. And until the coaches, press, and everybody stops making excuses for 18 and 20-year-olds, they're using this as a crutch to do these things and get away with it.
I agree with you, Jonathan.
I could not agree more.
And if he were the backup quarterback, he'd probably be booted from the team. But because he's Jameis Winston, he's not going to be. And that's the world we live in.
Let me mention this too, Jonathan. It's also like out here why gas prices are the way they are. You know, people for the last 4 or 5 years since gas prices have been shooting up and skyrocketing, everybody's like, well, if everybody just quit driving around and just sit at home and boycott, let's have a national boycott day and everybody stay at home, don't go to work or whatever, and not anybody go to a gas station, we'll show them that we really control it. But the point is that nobody is, and people are filling up at a more rapid rate now at the gas prices that we have. So, you know, things continue to spiral out of control. So, you know, we do have ultimately the power. These schools do, but they don't want to bite the bullet and kick the Heisman Trophy national championship winning quarterback off. Somebody needs to be that team or that coach to step up and send a message to these high-profile guys, but nobody's willing to do it. And I couldn't agree with you more.
Well, the coaches, yes, but the coaches are also using it as a crutch because they hear it every day in the press. So they just follow the press along saying, oh, it's okay for an 18-year-old to do this. You expect them to do it. As an 18-year-old, a 15-year-old, people know what's right and wrong. And the press needs to get on a bandwagon and say, look, we got to quit giving them an excuse, giving the coaches excuses to follow us along, and let's do something about this because it's getting worse and worse and worse.
You're exactly right.
Every year, more and more of them are doing it because they're smarter than we are. They know how to use this crutch. They're just like small children. They know how to use it. They take advantage of it.
You're right, Jonathan.
And maybe I'm wrong.
No. I think you're dead on, and we appreciate your call today, okay?
Thank you, Jonathan.
Hey, and
all right, thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Hey, not only does an 18-year-old and a 15-year-old know what's right and wrong. My 9-year-old son knows what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
My 5-year-old daughter knows what's right and wrong. Maybe not to a degree on certain things because she didn't have the knowledge, but they know what's right and wrong.
Yeah, you can't go in there and steal crab legs if you're Brindley.
Stay tuned for the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Cheap, little cheaper says Kelly Blue Book is held over. Due to overwhelming response, Carl Gregory's gigantic Kelly Blue Book used car event is being held over. Every pre-owned vehicle is drastically discounted to Kelly Blue Book pricing. Buy any pre-owned vehicle on the lot at what Kelly Blue Book says it's worth. Plus, on-the-spot financing, even if your credit is less than perfect. Don't miss this chance to buy at Kelly Blue Book prices. Held over for one final week at Carl Gregory's 2 giant pre-owned supercenters. Cheap.
Sperlin Recycling is an Alabama-based recycling company specializing in the recycling of metal, aluminum, copper, ferrous, and non-ferrous waste. Sperlin Recycling is available for all your commercial recycling needs, including demolition, on-site scrap removal, and roll-off services. Sperlin Recycling is a family-owned corporation with several generations of experience. Call us today at 256-234-0903 and visit us online at www.sperlinrecycling.com.
JR Sports Bar and Grill. Mondays, all you can eat fingers, $13.25. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, all you can eat wings, $12.25. Every day, kids in uniforms eat for $1.99. Alabama Street in Alexander City and Highway 280 in Silicaca.
Hello, I'm Russell Building Supply.
And I'm the big box store.
Box, I don't mean to cut you short, but I've got a delivery to make.
A delivery?
Yeah, Russell delivers anywhere in the local area for free, usually on the same day, and that's on top of our low price guarantee.
Really? Free? Are you kidding me?
No, and if you prefer to pick the order up yourself, we'll load it for free.
And on the same day?
Yeah, we're really good at working on short lead times. How about you?
Yeah, I'm short.
Serving Lake Martin and Central Alabama.
When you're on Lake Martin and looking for your own boat, it pays to know what the locals know. Alex City Marine in Alex City and the all-new Alex City Marine South on Highway 63 across from the mini mall is Lake Martin's premier Landau pontoon boat dealer and the area's authorized Suzuki, Honda, and Mercury outboard dealer. Alex City Marine has the industry's best brands, and they back it up with the industry's best boat repair with marine-certified specialists that get it done right. Whether summerization or a full overhaul, Alex City Marine has you covered on both ends of the lake. Know what the locals know. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin's complete sales and service center with 2 locations to serve you.
Ever wondered what LMG can do for you? The possibilities are endless.
LMG offers custom apparel and promotional products, any type of signage and vehicle wraps, web design and internet marketing, video production, paper products, and more. Visit us online at www.leemarketing.net. With 3 locations to best serve you: Madison Street in Alexander City, Highway 280 in Dadeville, and Frederick Road in Auburn.
Back to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Brett Pritchard and Luke Robinson here with you on a fine Saturday morning right here in downtown Alex City at JR Sports Bar and Grill. Come on out and join us here, and or if you're heading out to the lake or anywhere outside today, just swing into JR's and pick up some great food and take it with you. Let's go back to the phone lines. Brian and Eclectic, you're on the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Good. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Brian.
Alabama won, I think, top off Missouri.
Yeah, they did. They clinched the SEC championship last night. That's the 4th time in 5 years, so congratulations to Coach Murphy for that.
And now I'm on to fun in baseball.
Yeah, and it wasn't pretty.
And I'm lost to Mississippi State.
We appreciate the SEC recap from Brian, and Brian, we appreciate your call every time, okay?
Thank you, Brian.
Go Wildcats.
Thank you so much.
Go Wildcats. Thank you, Brian.
I mean, SEC recap there for in case all
we got to get a
know.
sponsor for that.
Yeah, Alabama in softball wins, baseball loses, and Auburn loses, and he's out. So give us a call, 256-234-6221.
I want more people to call in. I mean, it was a very diverse group that called in the sports call this week. I listened to it a few different times. Some folks, nobody necessarily defended Donald Sterling, but you had some folks saying they felt like his constitutional rights were being trampled. And my argument to that is, look, no, he wasn't arrested.
No.
I mean, it wasn't like the government didn't do anything here. This was, and I know it was illegal for the conversation to have been taped.
Yeah.
And I agree with that.
Once it's out, it's over.
It's done. It's over. And it's not like this is like a one-time deal where he's come back and apologized for it.
No.
To me,
then he keeps putting his foot in his mouth.
Well, and Brett, to me, it's like, remember when the Dixie Chicks went over to England?
Yes.
And they got up there and said, we don't agree with our president. And the people on the right lost their mind, and the people on the left said, well, they have the right to say that. And they do have the right to say that, but people have the right to quit buying their albums, too. And that's exactly what happened.
That's exactly right. And people have the right to not sponsor his team. And, there are I don't care what you say and when you say it. Look, the law can only protect you for to a certain extent. You can say that's illegal. We can't all erase our minds. There is not a mind eraser out there, unless not that we know of. There might be one out there, but you can't erase what's been said and what's your perception of Donald Sterling. You can't back up and say, all right, let's that was not done in the right context. Just forget about that. Strike that from the records. No, we're not in a courtroom where you can't use that as evidence. Because that's one of the things that's so damaging about verbal statements and saying things. You can't take them back once they're taped, or if somebody hears them, or if they're out in a public forum or wherever it might be. You just can't take it back.
What about the rumors or the announcement, I should say, that he has cancer? I believe he has colon cancer. I thought, and apparently he's had it for a while. And so I thought Doc Rivers, the coach of the Clippers, may have said it best. I hate to hear that. And he said it with about that much enthusiasm.
That's exactly right.
But it makes you wonder about the timing of that announcement. But you know what? After hearing all the things he said, some people thought maybe he was trying to garner sympathy. I don't think he's that kind of guy. I don't think he cares if anybody likes him or not. And people say that all the time, and they really do care. Everybody generally cares. I don't think this guy cares one iota. If you like him, dislike him, he will say the most horrible things to you. You listen to the tape. Mm-hmm. He was saying some pretty horrible things to this Stiviano woman. I mean, you're a wrecker of hearts. He was like talking very Game of Thrones at times.
Yeah.
He was also sounding like a 15-year-old boy who had been, who was dating a 17-year-old girl who was going off to college and said, I can't date you anymore. And he was just wishing her ill will. I mean, I was like, you're a billionaire. Go get anybody else.
That's right. I think that's where people lose their mind. And I heard somebody say something on a news, a newscast or something earlier this week. They talked about these billionaires are so eccentric, and they don't want people dabbling in their lives, and they don't want a lot of people knowing what they're doing, because they do some things that are shady, and their character may be, not all of them, but a lot of them are. I mean, because of their money and because of what it makes them to be. And this Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said that, are we really bringing this up now? I mean, he said he's been downplaying and he's been a bigot for years by the way he handles his property in L.A. and allowing people to live and what he says about them, and I don't know. Look, eventually stuff's going to come out on you. If you're a bad person, your character flaws will shine, and whether it's through a tape in the privacy of your own home, or you slip up outside and say something that is the true Donald Sterling. And in true Donald Sterling fashion, how does he follow that up? He follows it up with this statement. Well, I wish I just should have paid her off. Well, that tells me all I need to know about you, that you're missing the point of why you're in the situation you're in.
But if you are Donald Sterling, let's just flip it the other side. Let's pretend you're Donald Sterling for a second. I guess at 80 years old, it's probably a little late to ask for forgiveness.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, first of all, you're not changing. You've been a bigot and a racist for 80 years. That ain't changing.
It's kind of like the Nazi guys that were on trial. I mean, they keep finding one here and there, the ones that ran away, and you go put a 90-year-old guy on trial, and he goes, well, I'm so sorry for all the atrocities and crimes that I committed back in World War II. Well, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a rip anymore. Yeah. I mean, it's too late now.
Well, and he's not going to change, so I guess the only thing he can do is say, I'm just going to fight this till the end. Why not? I've got cancer.
And I ain't got any friends. I ain't got any
friends. What have I got to lose if I fight?
I totally agree. 256-234-6221 to be part of the program. Stay tuned for the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR's right after this.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
It's political season. Get the most exposure for your campaign through Lee Marketing Group. Yard signs, banners, decals, door hangers, postcards, business cards, video production, advertising, and more. Custom, professional, and engaging. Everything you need in one place. Contact us today. 888-533-6758. www.leemarketing.net. LMG. Success by design.
S&S Discount Tires just added a brand new third location in New Site to help better serve the New Site, Mella Valley, and Clay County area. S&S Discount Tire has the best prices on tires around with the most qualified service techs. S&S Discount Tires, the area's leading volume tire dealer, because we sell tires the right way by making them affordable with service beyond compare. S&S Discount Tire in New Site is located right across the street from East Building Supply. Call us today at 256-392-4022.
Sperlin Recycling is an Alabama-based recycling company specializing in the recycling of metal, aluminum, copper, ferrous, and non-ferrous waste. Sperlin Recycling is available for all your commercial recycling needs, including demolition, on-site scrap removal, and roll-off services. Sperlin Recycling is a family-owned corporation with several generations of experience. Call us today at 256-234-0903 and visit us online at www.sperlinrecycling.com.
At Brown Nursing Home, you'll find quality care and comfortable living. We take great pride in our rehabilitation services, including short-term rehabilitation. We offer speech, occupational, and physical therapy, as well as skilled nursing care. Brown is located on Washington Street in Alexander City. For more information, contact Cecily Lee, the administrator, at 256-329-9061.
Hello, I'm State Farm Agent Karen Chanel. I specialize in helping families and individuals like yourself in the Alexander City and Lake Martin communities. With over 20 years experience with State Farm and a dynamic team of licensed professionals, I am committed to helping you manage the risk of everyday life. And we not only consider it an honor, but a privilege to assist you in meeting your insurance and financial services needs. I sincerely look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Sperlin Recycling. For all your commercial recycling or demolition needs, call them today at 256-234-0903 or visit them online at www.sperlinrecycling.com.
Welcome back to the the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR's Sports Bar and Grill. Brett Pritchard and Luke Robinson here with you for another hour. Come on out to JR's and be part of it. Get you some great food and enjoy this beautiful day out there. And, again, I want to thank JR's for being our corporate partner. Let's go back to the phone lines. Penny, you're on Saturday Sports Countdown. There's so much sports out there. We'll just say Saturday Sports Countdown. Let's go.
Hey, Penny.
Hello?
We're here, Penny.
Y'all was talking about that old man that said that racial remark. Well, up there in Millersville, Tennessee, a black deputy, had got a paper and threw them out. Had you know them hooded men on them? About the KKK?
Yeah.
Well, he got one of them through mail. A black deputy did. He don't know who sent it.
Do I know who sent it?
He got what through the mail?
It's like a picture of the KKK members, the hooded white men that were in white sheets and stuff.
Yes.
Well, his black deputy got that through his mail.
Okay.
They don't know who sent it to him.
All right.
Well, we'll put our best investigators on it.
Well, I hope they'll probably find out who done it, but that's like racialism too, ain't it? I mean.
Well, absolutely, yeah. It's a threat, obviously. So, are you insinuating Donald Sterling sent it to him?
I was just letting y'all know that some poor deputy in Millersville is scared to death now because sending that to him because he's black.
Well, and that's unfortunate, and that a lot of that stuff, still going on in the year 2014. I know it's hard to believe, but it is. But I think Donald Sterling has brought a lot of this to light. So we'll check and see if Donald Sterling sent that to him.
Thank you, Penny.
Thank you for your call, Penny. 256-234-6221.
Back to our regular programming here for a minute, but let's Brett, another thing that's interesting about this Donald Sterling thing, and this is why there really is nobody that's a champion here. The NAACP was going to give him his second Lifetime Achievement Award. His second. When you win one, it was funny. Colin Cowherd, who I happen to love.
He got so much money, I need to give him another one.
Colin Cowherd had a representative from the NAACP, the California chapter, on his show, I believe it was Monday. And he said, "What's the deal here?" She said, "I didn't think he should have gotten the first one." And he said, "Well, weren't you involved?" She said, "No, there are a bunch of chapters in NAACP, and this other chapter happened to give him a Lifetime Achievement Award, and they were going to give him another one." And she said, when I heard that, I was like, well, he didn't die and come back to life, did he? It's hard to get to Lifetime Achievement Awards. Brindley with
our producer on quick draw after I said that my 5-year-old daughter knows what right and wrong is and not to go into Publix and steal crab legs. Now he has superimposed crab legs in her hands and sent the picture to us. Pretty funny, but you're right. Here's the deal, and I thought the leader of the NAACP came out and I commend her for what she said. She says, this looks like that if you have enough money, you can just buy your way out of stuff, and you can just buy your way into our organization, and that's not what we're about. And
well, it was what you were about.
It is, but it was for that chapter in L.A. And he resigned and all this kind of stuff. But look, that's the sad part of our society out there. So many people can get bought off. I mean, there's so many people that can buy their way out. I'm not saying that's what happened with Jameis Winston down there, but I'm sure something went down. Some money was exchanged by some booster to somebody to say, hey, look, guys, you need to sweep all this. And I'm alluding back to the rape investigation, not the crab legs. I mean, $32. I mean, it is what it is. It's more the principle there than it is about the money. But this rape, where you violated somebody's life that scarred them for life, scarred their family for life, and for you to be able to get away with it just because you're a superstar athlete is a crock of crap. And that's what we live in. If you have something that you can benefit from, or somebody can do something to benefit you as a booster of an organization or a college, then yes, we will do all we can with our power to get this wiped away. Whereas Joe Schmo, like me and you, something goes wrong, ain't nobody coming to our defense. Ain't nobody buying us out of anything.
if you or I had stolen crab legs from Publix, it wouldn't make national news.
No, it would not.
But I don't know that we'd be able to go back to that Publix over there in Auburn anymore.
We'd be done.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd be done. So that is the standard and the double standard that we have. And, it is unfortunate. You're right. I think you hit it on the head. There is no winner here. You've uncovered a lot of different things with the tape of Donald Sterling. You found out that the NAACP has some issues. Because it looks like they could just be bought, because this guy, they have honored a guy and was about to do it again to maybe one of the biggest racists that we've ever seen. And then, of course, he makes buffoonish comments. So you've uncovered a bunch of stuff here. And V. Stefano, in the whole scheme of things, has really uncovered her true character and morals. And she's a gold digger. I mean, why else is somebody her age with an 80-year-old guy that's still married? All right, so tell me about your character a little bit.
And all this may even stem from the fact that the wife of Sterling was upset with Stiviano, even though she knew they were dating, okay? She knew they were dating, and they all went to the game, not together.
She sat across the court.
Sat across the court.
That's ridiculous.
And the wife was going to sue Stiviano for $1.8 million because she felt like, I guess, Sterling had been giving her money, or this whole thing is so incredibly bizarre. First of all, I
think there's more of this at that
Donald
level.
Sterling's really bad at keeping things on the down low.
Yeah, he is.
For a billionaire.
I think there's a lot more of that at that level. What I mean, at that level of money, Luke, that goes on than you and I can even comprehend, or anybody that's we're normal people. I mean, we live normal lives. We have jobs and we go to them, and we have families and things like that. But things at that level with that kind of money, and to be able to jump in a jet and fly anywhere in the world, and I mean, when you have $1 billion, there's nothing in the world that you really can't do or buy. I mean, it's really it's really endless.
Yeah.
If you manage things the right way, there's really nothing ever that you can't go buy or do. And so at that level, I think these people just get so doggone bored. I mean, they come up with things to do, and you said it best. There's the money is generational. They don't even feel like anybody needs them. I mean, they kind of feel lonely.
That's right.
Sometimes it's just weird.
It's one of the most bizarre. It was a really odd week of sports. It was the whole Donald Sterling thing, and then the Jameis Winston. Donald Sterling, as much trouble as he's in, he was probably wiping his brow a little bit, saying, "Thank God Jameis Winston stole those crab legs. Take that tension off of me for a second." I mean, I can't believe that these two things happened within about 4 days of one another.
I don't know, and has Jameis Winston come out and said anything?
Yes, he has. He came out and said it was youthful ignorance, or
how much more time are we going to use this? I mean,
but again, he's not that young anymore. The guy has won a national championship, and Jonathan from Auburn had a great call earlier saying, "Look, when I was 18,
quit hiding behind that."
I know people mature at different times, but Jameis Winston's around 20, 21 years old now. He's old enough to be drafted. He's old enough to vote.
Exactly right.
He's old enough probably to drink. I'm not sure of his exact age, but he's been at FSU for 3 years. He doesn't know any better than to not steal crab legs.
We're going to shift out all this off the field, off the court talk. We're going to dive into Auburn and Alabama baseball, talk about Auburn and Alabama football, high school sports. Also, the NBA the playoffs are going on. A crazy shot last night, and the Kentucky Derby. What a beautiful day for the Kentucky Derby. This is a Derby day outside.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is what you look for, and we'll talk about that when we come back. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR's right after this.
In a world that's ever-changing, you have to be sure that your choices are the right choices. At Central Alabama Community College, you'll know you made the best choice. Whether choosing a technical degree program, taking courses to transfer to a four-year college or university, or being a part of our national championship winning traditions, get a sharper focus on your life by choosing one of our 3 convenient locations: Alex City, Childersburg, and Talladega. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you. Central to your success. When you're on Lake Martin and looking to own a boat, it pays to know what the locals know. Alex City Marine in Alexander City and the all-new Alex City Marine 2 on Highway 63 across from the Mini Mall is Lake Martin's premier Landau pontoon boat dealer and the area's authorized Suzuki, Honda, and Mercury outboard dealer. Alex City Marine has the industry's best brands and backs it up with the industry's best boat repair with marine certified specialists that get it done right. Whether summarization or a full overhaul, Alex City Marine has you covered. On both ends of the lake, know what the locals know. Alex City Marine.
During the award season event at Vice Motors.
Don't roll the dice, buy it at Vice.
Award-winning vehicles.
Buy it at Vice.
Drive first ever back-to-back winner of the Motor Trend Truck of the Year, the Ram 1500.
Nice price.
Lowest price.
Take my advice.
Buy it at Vice.
We're just a short drive away from invoice every day.
I bought it at Vice.
Guaranteed lowest price, or we'll pay you the difference in price twice.
They're really nice.
ViceChryslerDodge.com.
Have you been waiting to refinance your mortgage because you're concerned about the value of your home? Recent market data shows that property values have been increasing in our area.
The HomePlace Flex allows you to choose your term, whether you're looking to take years off of your mortgage or lower your monthly payment. Now is the time to act while rates are still at historic lows.
With the HomePlace Ultimate, this is a smart solution to combine your bills, lower your monthly expenses, and even take on that new home improvement project you've been putting off.
Call us today for all your mortgage needs.
If you've been seriously injured in a car wreck or a truck wreck, don't let the insurance company knock you out without taking responsibility for your medical expenses, pain and suffering, and car repair. You need a fighter. I'm a former Golden Glove champion, and I will fight for you to get the money you deserve. Call Script and put a fighter in your corner.
Call the Walton Law Firm at 334-321-3000 or toll free at 866-321-3330. Put a fighter in your corner.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be provided is greater than that of other attorneys.
It's the model year in closeout with the lowest prices of the year. Now at Lynch Nissan of Auburn. The 2014 models are here, and the 2013s have got to go while they last. Own the new 2013 Nissan Altima for just $19,900, or get a new 2013 Frontier prices at $18,900. Both with available 0% financing. The best deals of the year on the Nissan G1 are here during the model year in closeout. Only at Lynch Nissan of Auburn. I-85 at exit 51. Online at lynchnissan.com.
Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Brett Pritchard, Luke Robinson here with you for about 40 more minutes today. And again, a beautiful day outside. Make sure you get out and about and enjoy this beautiful weather that we've all been hoping and praying for. And it is a beautiful spring day. Going to be a pretty week coming up. So looking forward to some sunny weather, some nice weather here in the central part of Alabama. But we'll be with you for about another 40 minutes. We'd love to hear from you, 256-234-6221, to be part of the program. Again, going in tune with this beautiful spring day. About this time every year, the Kentucky Derby rolls around, and it is today. The Kentucky Derby in about 6 hours will run, and it's the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, I believe, is what they call it. And there's racing all day. I mean, there's multiple races. We had an opportunity to go up in 2000 to Keeneland, it was just a great experience in that racetrack, but I can only imagine what it's like to be at Churchill Downs today. It's just a very, it's one of those bucket list experiences if you're a sports fanatic that you want to be part of. So, I haven't heard a lot about this Kentucky Derby, Luke. You hear a lot. about different things, and usually there is a horse that really is the favorite, and there's a title of a one of the stories here online that says only the heavens know what the outcome of this Kentucky Derby is going to be. They're looking for somebody to step up. Obviously, right now, if you look down the odds, California Chrome is the one with the best odds at 3-1 to win it, but there's some 8-1s in there. Danka, I don't know how exactly if that's the correct pronunciation. Wicked Strong, also an 8-1, but there is no Real Quiet. There is no, there's that horse that everybody knows. So I don't know, but this may be the year, since nobody knows, that we might get a Triple Crown.
Am I alone in thinking the Kentucky Derby is grossly overrated? I mean, Brett, because none of us know anything about it. I mean, how many people have you ever gone to and they're like, oh, yeah, remember the Derby in 2008? Remember how classic that was?
Yeah,
I mean, nobody ever talks about that.
I guess in the horse circles they do.
Well, you think about some of the great horses, like Secretariat.
Yeah,
you
added
or Seabiscuit, a couple of movies about it. War Admiral, that's all great. But,
War Emblem. War Emblem.
War Admiral.
War Admiral?
War Admiral was a while back. Before.
Okay.
But, anyway, I just feel like we exactly. There's my point.
Well, but do you think the same thing could be said about golf too? I mean, if you're not a golf fan, do you have anybody walking up saying, "Hey, man, you remember the 2003 finish at the Masters?" I bet you couldn't tell me who won the 2003 Masters.
There's no question.
All right, so
my guess would be Tiger Woods, because that was back in his heyday. But it's funny, golf and the horse racing are kind of the same thing. Their Super Bowls are the first event of the year, Masters and the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah. That is. I mean, and here's the deal. And you got two more races after that. The Belmont Stakes and what's the other one? There's the three races. I mean, you got the Preakness and Belmont. If you don't have a horse that has won the first two going into the third one's usually irrelevant. I mean, it has become almost. That's bad, because if you don't have that shot at that Triple Crown, then people just kind of wipe it away, and they're like, well, no, nobody cares about this, another horse race.
No, I totally agree. I feel like the only reason to go to the Kentucky Derby is not necessarily for the horses, it's for the kitsch value. You go there to see the hats and the women and the mint julep, and
that's right.
Just be a part of this. It's a little more upscale Talladega is the way it is, essentially.
That's the truth. And they said in the infield there it gets a little rough as well. So, it is. But, I guess it's an experience. It's one of those things that, if you're a big sports fan, you just go to take in the experience. I mean, that's right. So give us a call, 256-234-6221. Always here to start the month of May off is the Kentucky Derby. Again, the best odds right now, if you're out there interested in maybe placing a bet, it's a California Chrome right now, the updated odds at 3-1. So we'll slide over and talk about some SEC baseball. Auburn and Alabama both taking on the chin last night.
They do. Alabama was down 3-0. I know late in the game they ended up losing 7-3
to Florida.
To Florida, who is tops in the SEC. But this is what I was talking about 2 weeks ago. Everybody was singing the praises of Mitch Gaspard. Alabama was doing well at the top of the SEC standings, and I felt like it was fool's gold, because Alabama has a tough schedule coming up. They got Florida this week. I believe they've got at LSU the next week, and then maybe Mississippi State at home, if I remember correctly. So got some really powerful teams coming up, and I feel like this Alabama team is going to take a big-time step back. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they lose 2 games, maybe even 3 games to Florida this weekend. They lost 2 games last weekend to South Carolina. They had a midweek loss to, was it Southern Miss, I think?
Yeah.
And they ended up winning midweek this week, but they've run into some little bit of trouble here, and we'll see how the team regroups. I mean, they'll still make the SEC tournament. They'll probably make the NCAA tournament, but I don't expect a I'm not sure under Mitch Gaspard.
Well, I'm not sure Auburn's going to make the SEC tournament.
No, I would say right now they're on the outside looking in.
They are dead last, and Tennessee is only Tennessee is worse than them in Georgia. in the East in Missouri. So, Auburn does have a chance, but anything can happen here. They can't afford to get swept coming down the stretch by anybody. So they're teeter-tottering on missing the SEC tournament. But again, the only I guess solace is that Missouri and Tennessee all have a tougher road coming down the stretch than Auburn does schedule-wise, and Missouri's terrible. And if you look at Missouri's record, two of their 6 wins in the SEC came against Auburn.
I know it.
At Auburn. And Auburn just absolutely blew a golden opportunity. You just give Auburn 2 of those wins there, and Auburn is at 11-9. I mean, it's a whole different story.
They're in the thick of this.
And they're in the dead middle of it, and that shows you how close it is here in the SEC, and that, to me, Sonny Galloway trying to just get things turned around at Auburn, and I think he'll eventually will. But, he came in and he set expectations very high. I said, this team can go to Omaha. Obviously, now we know that it can't go to Omaha.
No, I don't think this team can go to Omaha. And you know what? This may be setting the foundation, though. I mean, maybe there has to be some house cleaning over at Auburn right now. I know Sonny Galloway had things rolling early on in the season. They had everybody excited. But this team never really had the makings of something that could do big things.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, it'll be an interesting finish to the SEC baseball schedule. Up against the break, come back, continue to take your calls, talk some more about the world of sports. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR's right after this.
Bradbury Medical Equipment serves the Lake Martin area's needs with durable medical equipment and respiratory care. Bradbury Medical Equipment is home-owned and operated, providing skilled, qualified, and professional people to set up and deliver all of their equipment. Bradbury Medical Equipment provides 24-hour service and will file all insurance claims, making claims trouble-free. Located on Airport Drive in Alexander City, Bradbury Medical Equipment, a history of neighborly care. Call them today at 256-215-8654.
JR's Catering is your premier choice for catering for any occasion in the Lake Martin area. Their quality food service can cater any event from banquets, family celebrations, charity events, political gatherings, as well as corporate catering. For delicious food of any kind and great service, call on JR's Catering today at 256-329-2328.
Hello, I'm Russell Building Supply.
And I'm the big box store.
Box, I don't mean to cut you short, but I've got a delivery to make.
A delivery?
Yeah, Russell delivers anywhere in the local area for free, usually on the same day, and that's on top of our low price guarantee.
Really? Free? Are you kidding me?
No, and if you prefer to pick the order up yourself, we'll load it for free.
And on the same day?
Yeah, we're really good at working on short lead times. How about you?
Yeah, I'm short.
Serving Lake Martin and Central Alabama.
S&S Discount Tire on Cherokee Road in Alex City is the Lake Martin area's largest volume tire dealership and a place for everything mechanical. Weary and the S&S Tire crew are ready to serve you with double the capacity from routine oil changes to full engine overhauls and all transmission work. S&S Tire can handle it all. That's S&S Tire on Cherokee Road. Call David or Weary today at 256-215-8822. Visit S&S Discount Tire at 224 East South Street in Davie, now in 2 locations.
It's political season. Get the most exposure for your campaign through Lee Marketing Group. Yard signs, banners, decals, door hangers, postcards, business cards, video production, advertising, and more. Custom, professional, and engaging. Everything you need in one place. Contact us today. 888-533-6758. www.leemarketing.net. LMG. Success by design.
In this moment, you want a team that stands behind you so you can perform your best. At Auto Owners Insurance, it's how we do business every day. Because along with our independent agents, no one works harder to keep you in the game. Auto Owners Insurance.
Call Dark Insurance today, 256-234-5026. Welcome back to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Brett Pritchard, Luke Robinson here with you till noon. So about 30 more minutes we'll be on the air. Give us a call, 256-234-6221 to be part of the program. And again, we want to hear from you and a lot that we've been talking about, and just talked about Auburn and Alabama baseball. Let's shift over and talk a little bit about the football, and I think you're right. I just asked, we were talking about it, not much to talk about as far as recruiting news for both Auburn or Alabama this week, because it all happened last week.
Yeah, it was huge last week. I mean, both teams, well, I mean, really, I guess the last 2 weeks have been huge for both teams. Lots of commitments. It's wild. We used to talk about how Texas gets all their commitments and gets filled up before fall football starts.
That's right.
For the next year, and Alabama and Auburn are trending that way right now. So it's interesting. Alabama and Auburn. Alabama has number 1 class. Auburn has number 2 class, at least in 24/7 Sports and in ESPN, I believe. So things are going really well for both teams. There's still a lot of guys out there that they'll both be fighting for. There's no doubt. Brett, what I'd like to talk about football-wise is go back to, I alluded to it early in the program, is go back to the fact that there's been a lot made about the 9-game conference schedule versus the 8-game conference schedule. And the Stanford coaches, the UCLA coaches, I believe, they all came out and they were talking about how they don't think it's equitable that the Pac-12 has to play 9 games and the SEC has to play 8. And my argument to that is, first of all, the SEC is a better conference.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even understand why somebody would argue that.
Yeah.
Okay? The SEC does play a championship game. I know the Pac-12 does too.
Let me throw that in there before you continue to go. How long was it just the SEC only with a championship game and nobody else had one?
Exactly.
All right, so, everybody else was out there just playing their regular season, and if they happened to win the season, then, they were thrust into whatever bowl game or national championship hunt. The SEC championship game actually could have hurt and did hurt a lot of teams, opportunities to move on and play for national championships. I don't buy that bunk.
Well, and also there's a lot of talk out there. I know there's a local writer here that talks about how the Pac-12 doesn't play any Division 1A teams, 1AA, excuse me. And you know what? I mean, I'm sorry you don't, but you act like playing Minnesota. I looked at USC's schedule the last few years. They played Minnesota twice, Boston College about 3 times. They played Notre Dame every year, but as I said, it's not like Notre Dame's been gangbusters. They went to the national championship one time, and the first good team they played beat their brakes off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't see what the big deal is. And Alabama's playing West Virginia. They played West Virginia, Clemson, Virginia Tech twice, Penn State twice. They're scheduling teams. They got Wisconsin next year. Auburn's played Clemson 3 times. LSU has played some in Oregon in some of these games. And you know what? The SEC is scheduling somebody, and they want the revenue. I mean, they got these gigantic, monstrous stadiums. They want the revenue for when some other team can come in. Now, if the NCAA mandates they have to go to 9 games, so be it. I think the SEC will have no problem with it.
Yeah.
But right now, they only mandate 8, and you have a championship game. I think that's a lot.
It is a lot. And I mean,
considering, Brett, they used to play only 6.
Yeah,
now they only had 10 teams.
Well, look, I mean, come on. I mean, the SEC is by far and away the best conference in college football, and they're the strongest conference. And the level of competition, whatever Bob Stoops said at the beginning of the year, and Charlie Weiss at the beginning of the year saying that, just it's top heavy. The bottom part of our conference is better than the bottom part of yours. Why aren't we talking about the cellar dwellers? I'm talking about how many national championships have been won or played for over the last 5 to 6 years, and it's the SEC. It's definitely that's proven themselves as the dominant conference. And so here's one more shot at the SEC by these other conferences to try to bring themselves up to an equal level, and it just nobody buys it.
Well, the Pac-12 has played for one national championship in the last 8 years, and that was Oregon. They lose Auburn and win a game when arguably Cam Newton played the worst game of his collegiate career. Okay, the last championship they won before that was USC, and that title was stripped from them for playing with an illegal player. So, I mean, it's not like the Pac-12 is even having an argument. I mean, the SEC has sent more guys to the NFL. The SEC brings in more eyeballs. The SEC is college football right now. At one time, it was the Big Ten. It's not anymore. It is the SEC, and this may all be cyclical. It may change, but for the moment, the SEC is king, and they really dictate a lot of the rules, and I think 8 games is fine. I would love to see them go to 9 games. Having said all that, that's the irony. I would like to see it go to 9 games. I'm very pro Nick Saban on this. I think now that we have the playoff format, going to 9 games is a little bit smarter, because you don't know. There is still some ambiguity about this conference, this playoff selection committee.
Yeah.
And so I worry that if you don't go to 9 games, that eventually, and that's exactly what the Stanford and UCLA coaches were doing. We're firing the first shot across the bow, saying they don't play as many conference games as we do. So we want you to take that in consideration.
Sure. Interesting stuff. I'm with you. The best way to challenge that is just to go on and up it like everybody else. But on the flip side of that, the SEC is already tough enough. I think it's already a hard enough road for, especially now with the playoff system in place. It's going to be even tougher on SEC teams because of the way it's laid out. I don't think we need to make it any tougher. So I'd love to hear from you out there. 256-234-6221 to be part of the program. Again, it's a beautiful, beautiful Saturday outside, and you need to get out, take advantage of it. We haven't seen much of this around here in a while. It's been some nasty weather, but again, SEC football. As far as recruiting, nothing really much on the horizon regarding recruiting. There's just everybody seemed like they committed last week. Alabama picked up some pretty good commitments. Auburn picked up some good commitments, and it was a good end of the spring for both schools, for both Auburn and for both Alabama. And the next phase of this, I guess, would be to shift over into the NFL draft, which is coming up on the horizon, and a lot of talk about who's going to be drafted first and who's going to be taken. And the rumors are Greg Robinson is shot all the way up to maybe the number 1 overall pick now, and it won't be Jadeveon Clowney. And did you know that for maybe the second year in a row, a running back may not get drafted in the first 3 rounds of the NFL draft? It'd be 2 years in a row if that happens.
Well, it's, again, you talk about being cyclical. Everybody used to think you have to have a great running back, and now everybody's going to more of a platoon system. And you can have, if you've got 2 really, good ones instead of 1 great one, it may be better.
256-234-6221 to be part of the program.
Let me add one more point here. I'm looking at this first mock draft. The Pac-12 has 3 or 4 guys. I miscounted. I think they've got 3 guys going in the first round in this mock draft. The SEC has 10. It's just, and then it's that way almost every year.
There you go. And where do the better players want to end up going? Most of the time, come to the SEC. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR's right after this.
I'm attorney Dane Sharp. Texting while driving has recently become a real problem. In our office, we see many cases where texting has led to auto accidents and serious injuries. We would encourage all parents to speak with their children regarding the dangers of texting while driving. And remember, if you're in your car waiting to send out or read that text message, won't change your life, but distracted driving can.
This message brought to you by personal injury attorney Dane Sharp. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be provided is greater than that of attorneys.
Ever wondered what LMG can do for you? The possibilities are endless.
LMG offers custom apparel and promotional products, any type of signage and vehicle wraps, web design and internet marketing, video production, paper products, and more. Visit us online at www.leemarketing.net. With 3 locations to best serve you: Madison Street in Alexander City, Highway 280 in Dadeville, and Frederick Road in Auburn.
CTE Small Engines has served East Alabama's lawn and power equipment needs with quality products from Echo, Husqvarna, and Kawasaki. But now, CTE has expanded to serve the entire state with full lines of Titan UTVs. CTE Small Engines is Alabama's exclusive Titan dealer with full lines of the Scoot, Sniper, Explorer, and Recon series, featuring hybrid electric and gas combo with up to an 1100cc power package. See Alabama's exclusive Titan dealer, CTE Small Engines at Opelika next to Tigertown off I-85. Or shop our full inventory at ctesmallengines.com. It's football season, and the Tide is ready to roll again. Bama fans, make sure you have everything you need to show your Tide pride. Bama Wear on Highway 280 in Childersburg has it all. Polo coaches shirts, game day t-shirts, hats, watches, autographed memorabilia, Daniel Moore prints, and home goods. Bama Wear is also the original home of the popular Bama Girl t-shirts and has plenty of Tide stuff for the Bama ladies, including houndstooth purses, dresses, raincoats, and more. So whether you're gearing up to show your Tide pride at home or the game, there's only one place to go. Bama Wear on Highway 280 in Childersburg. You can also get your Tide gear online at BamaWear.com.
At the Medicine Shop, we're dedicated to the idea that quality pharmacy care means more than just prompt prescriptions. When you come to the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, you'll be able to count on dependable care from a knowledgeable pharmacist. The Medicine Shop is the only compounding pharmacy in the area, and we offer the shingles vaccine year-round. Bring your prescriptions by the drive-thru on Airport Drive in Alex City, or input them online at www.medicineshop.com, or call them at 256-215-8014. The Medicine Shop, caring beyond prescriptions.
Cheap Little Cheaper says the Kelley Blue Book event is bigger and better than ever. Carl Gregory's gigantic Kelley Blue Book pricing event has been extended to new vehicles. Every new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram has been discounted to Kelley Blue Book pricing to save you thousands. Shop from a huge selection of over 300 new vehicles. Purchase any new vehicle for Kelley Blue Book's fair market price. Don't miss your chance to buy any new vehicle at Kelley Blue Book pricing this week at Carl Gregory Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Cheap.
Welcome back to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Brett Pritchard and Luke Robinson here with you for a couple more segments here on this Saturday morning. Get on out to JR Sports Bar and Grill and enjoy some great food out here. Give them a call, 256-329-2328 for your order if you want to call it in, or if you want to come by and pick you up some food on the way to the lake or wherever it is that you might be going, your destination today. It's beautiful outside. Get out and enjoy the weather. Let's shift gears and talk about the NBA playoffs, the NFL draft here to close out the program. And the NFL draft, Luke, do you think Greg Robinson ends up being the number one pick?
No, I mean, I think you'd be a fool not to take Jadeveon Clowney. I've said that all along. I love Johnny Manziel. I think Greg Robinson's great. Sammy Watkins is really good. He shot up the draft charts as well. But I think you're a fool if you don't take Jadeveon Clowney. He's just got too many tools, and his upside is so incredibly high, and I think his floor is pretty high as well. I just think he's a once in a 5-10 year guy. And I think if you don't draft him, you're nuts. So I think there's very little difference between, say, Jake Matthews and Greg Robinson. I would probably take Greg Robinson first, but I don't think there's a huge gap there. I think there is a gap between Jadeveon Clowney and whoever's next.
Who's the surprise guy in the top 10? Who gets in there and gets drafted in the top 10 that may be not a guy that a lot of people have been paying attention to?
Well, Khalil Mack, the guy from Buffalo, a lot of people have him in the top 10. Some people got him in the top 5 now, and some have even said they'd take him at number 1. And in my opinion, I give a lot more credibility to your competition. And Buffalo, yes, he looked great against Ohio State that one time, but he didn't have to play the Ohio States every week. I think Khalil Mack is an incredible athlete. I think he's first-round talent. Would I draft him in the top 10? Probably not, considering who else is in this draft. I mean, it's a pretty deep draft.
It's a lot of great names out there. Of course, Blake Bortles is a quarterback from Central Florida. I've seen a lot of highlights of Mike Evans. He is a prototypical NFL dominant receiver on the edge out there. I mean, again, talking about running backs again, though, none to be found anywhere in the top couple of rounds of draft. And it is crazy because you just think about how important that position is. But now, as you said, teams have multiple backs that they're able to platoon in and out. And you really have to have that in the NFL now with the bruising style of play up there. You just can't let your cards ride on one guy. You got to have multiple guys because that is an important position, but too many cards to put on the back of one person.
Yeah, I do think Aaron Donald out of Pittsburgh, I like him a lot. He always stood out in every Pittsburgh Panthers game I watched, and they've got him pegged right now, at least this particular mock draft, going to the Chicago Bears. I think that'd be a perfect fit for him. A guy that I think, speaking of running backs, that could have a good pro career, and I hate saying this, I don't like it at all, I don't like the guy, is Jeremy Hill. I think Jeremy Hill could have been really strong.
He looks like an NFL running back.
He looks like the kind of guy who can take a pounding. He's done it against SEC defenses. All my problems with him are related to attitude and off the field stuff.
Yeah.
Just like Jameis Winston, I don't want to pull for him. I probably won't pull for him, but I think he can have a pretty good career. A guy who's been sinking a little bit is Anthony Barr. At one time, people had him in the top 5. He's now pegged right now in this particular draft. Going to the Dallas Cowboys, linebacker out of UCLA. This Calvin Pryor, the free safety out of Louisville, he gets a lot of play. They've got him going to the Ravens. Right here locally, if you want to talk, you've got C.J. Mosley. A lot of people think now he will end up 19 to the Miami Dolphins, and I do like that. I always loved the Dolphins as a kid, and I love Dan Marino, and then they kind of, I guess they really just went away. I mean, the Dolphins have been a pretty non-factor in the NFL for quite some time, so I'd love to see them turn it around. The Kansas City Chiefs, they've got in this draft taken Odell Beckham Jr. I think he'd be a great pick. He's got huge hands.
Yeah.
For a wide receiver,
Kelvin Benjamin, the wide receiver for Florida State that caught that pass in end zone to win the national championship, got him going to the Philadelphia Eagles to play in that Chip Kelly offense up there. What do you think? They've got to find somebody to take the place of Deshaun Jackson. Yeah. So I don't know. He's not a Deshaun Jackson, but he is a monstrous guy size-wise, and he definitely fits the bill as well as an NFL receiver.
At New Orleans Saints, they've got taken D Ford. I've seen him early second, late first. I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints go up there and get him, and they probably do need to get some defensive guys. Carolina Panthers, if you keep up with recruiting, you'll remember this name because he was on Alabama's list for a while. That's Morgan Moses, an absolutely huge human being. He's 6'6", 314 pounds, and he's probably bigger than that. Out of Virginia. Then right at the end, you've got Marquise Lee going to the Seattle Seahawks.
That's not a bad pick.
No, I think it's a fantastic pick.
For the team that just won the Super Bowl, you're down at number 32. You end up picking Marquise Lee.
And they lose Golden Tate, so it's a great deal.
Yes, it's a great trade-off there, but a very prolific offense. And I hate to go on and jump out there and ask you, Luke, but do you see Seattle getting beat next year? I mean, do you see them having I see them having another great opportunity to win another Super Bowl next year.
I do, too. I do think they will be strong again. But, the NFL is so wild. Everybody catches up so quick because that's all they do. That's all they do is think about football all the time. And every time you think there's going to be a repeat champion, it seems like somebody comes in there and takes care of business. But Seattle's also in a tough division. You've got San Francisco right there.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that rivalry will be hot and heavy
again.
That's the
best rivalry in the NFL right now.
And see, they've got a pretty raw deal on the scheduling, too. I mean, I know it's computer-generated, but they've got a tough schedule next year.
Well, the Super Bowl champion normally does.
And they should.
And they do. And Denver Broncos, it'll be interesting to see Peyton Manning. I don't think anybody saw the thrashing that they took in the Super Bowl that they got from Seattle. So, Peyton Manning's clock's ticking. I know he's still performing really well, but how many more opportunities is he going to have to get back to a Super Bowl? This year may be it, and we'll see how it ends up playing out. But we're up against the final break of the show here, and when we come back, we'll close it out, and we'll talk about the NBA playoffs, some more talk about Auburn and Alabama. Anything that you want to talk about, 256-234-6221 to be part of the program. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR's right after this.
Ever wondered what LMG can do for you? The possibilities are endless.
LMG offers custom apparel and promotional products, any type of signage and vehicle wraps, web design and internet marketing, video production, paper products, and more. Visit us online at www.leemarketing.net. With 3 locations to best serve you, Madison Street in Alexander City, Highway 280 in Dadeville, and Frederick Road in Auburn.
Show Enough Barbecue. Since 1990, we've been serving you the finest barbecue in Alexander City. Gerald believes in cooking fresh meat daily, and the secret to that is, I'm not going to tell you. Show Enough is just not about barbecue, but also known for fresh vegetables and homemade pies. That's where I come in. I'm Linda Sanford, better known as the Pie Lady. We also do catering. For more information, give us a call at 234-7675.
Have you heard about Walls Tire and Auto? Walls Tire and Auto is a full-service garage with over 40 years combined experience in the shop. Let the professional, experienced staff at Walls Tire and Auto provide you with any service your car needs. You already know they handle tires of all sizes and brands, but did you know if your car breaks down, the friendly staff of Walls Tire and Auto will pick you up, make the repairs, and deliver your car back to you? Stop by and see them today. They're right off Highway 280, about a mile past Lake Hill Bridge, or call at 256-825-2628.
It's not surprising that Russell Medical Center has outpatient services, but what might surprise you is that we have so many. So remember, for the finest in outpatient services, our doors are always open. Russell Medical Center, conveniently located in Alexander City.
I want you to remember 3 words: Carhartt, Carhartt, Carhartt. Where? Satterfield on Highway 280 in Alexander City for men, women, and children. You talk about good old USA. Go by and pick it up today. A year-round product is Carhartt, Carhartt, and Carhartt. Men's, women, and children at Satterfield at our friends on Highway 280 in Alexander City.
When you need plumbing service, call on the professionals at A&M Plumbing LLC. For over 20 years, our mission has been to provide the best possible service available in the industry, and we specialize in solving difficult problems. We offer a wide range of services, such as installation, service, repair, and replacement of common fixtures, water heaters, toilets, faucets, drains, sewer lines, and septic tank pumping and cleaning services. Unlike many companies, our septic tank services include field line testing. Our knowledgeable staff will be happy to answer any of your questions. So call A&M Plumbing LLC today.
Final segment here of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. We are glad that you have joined us here on the radio stations out there that are carrying us, 95.9 down in the Auburn, Opelika area, 97.5 here in the Lake Martin area, and then on Charter Cable out there for all our viewers out there that watch us on Saturday morning. We appreciate it and appreciate the calls that we've had today, and we'll be back with you again next Saturday as always here at JR Sports Bar and Grill. We'll be back on the air on Tuesday from JR's, though, with the Lake Martin Sports Roundup with Scott Hardy. So 5 minutes left in this program, Luke, and let's do a quick snapshot of the NBA playoffs.
Well, I'll tell you, even if you don't like the NBA, and even if you're upset with the NBA, with the Donald Sterling situation, whichever side you're on, man, these playoffs have been pretty incredible, and they've been a lot of fun. Last night, Damian Lillard for Portland hits a deep three-pointer to end that series. Portland goes on to defeat the 4th-seeded Houston Rockets 4-2. You know, Houston's got to be a little bit disappointed. They had a team put together pretty well that you would think could make a run, especially now that Dallas has San Antonio on the break. They're tied at 3-3, and they play that championship game tomorrow. But man, you know, Houston, you would feel like on paper they might have had the most talented starting lineup. Oh, yeah. And the thing is, Dwight Howard, James Harden, they just don't get it done. I mean, Dwight Howard just flat doesn't get it done, and he is uber talented. He's an incredible player at times.
He's a disappointing guy,
but when the chips are on the line, he doesn't bring it home, and I think that's a big issue for him. The Clippers and the Warriors, that series has been unbelievable, especially with all the drama going off the court. OKC and Memphis, that's another series that's been – they had, 4 games go into overtime?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. And Indiana, Atlanta.
Where are all these teams? Atlanta with a losing record right now. I mean, they have a losing record coming into the playoffs, and I don't know. I don't think they can beat Indiana up there to finish it off, but they sure have made it uncomfortable for the best team in the East.
They have, and Indiana is just, it seems like Colin Cowherd astutely pointed this out before the playoffs started. He said, I think Indiana spent. He said, I think they spent so much mental energy trying to get the number one seed that they forget that really it's important in the playoffs. Yeah. And, they've never been a number one seed, I don't think, or they've never done well as a number one seed. And so Atlanta's taking them right to the brink. It wouldn't shock me at all if the Hawks beat them. I think they play today at 5:30.
They do, and that's interesting. So who would have thought a Hawks-Washington Wizards matchup in the semifinals of the East? So I don't know. That's a interesting thing, but I think it adds some spunk and some variety to the NBA instead of the same old hats just all the time. Miami cruised over Charlotte. They'll take on a team that they'll have no problem with in the second round, either Toronto or Brooklyn. I don't see them having an issue.
Brooklyn's 4-0 against Miami this year in the regular season. Now, the regular season in the NBA doesn't mean a ton. I get it. But whenever they played, it always felt like a playoff game. It was always tight, and Brooklyn always had their number. So I'm not saying if Brooklyn gets by them, which they have to play in Toronto tomorrow, Brooklyn won last night, that Brooklyn can beat Miami. Sure. But I'm saying it wouldn't shock me as much as it would shock some other folks.
No, I think you're right. And I don't know, Oklahoma City, Luke, do you see them winning the thing this year? Do you think they can get there and beat, of course, the Spurs? With the Spurs hadn't finished business either with Dallas yet. Do you think Oklahoma City could actually go the whole distance and win the whole thing this year?
Well, yeah, and I don't think I'm going to take too much from this opening series. Memphis is one of the best 8 seeds you will ever see, maybe the best 8 seed in NBA playoff history. Yeah. Whereas the Hawks have a losing record as the 8 seed on the eastern side. Memphis would probably be the 2 or 3 seed on the East if they had the same record over there.
That's right.
So, I mean, Memphis is a very strong ball club, and they're going to be without Zach Randolph in this game tomorrow night. So I think that OKC gets by them. And somebody brought up a great point the other day that the Celtics ended up going 7 games with the Hawks when they won it all. Yeah. And they got their act together. They needed that. Maybe OKC needed this punch in the mouth because they did take care of business at Memphis the other day.
That's going to wrap it up here on the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Again, we want to thank everybody for listening out there, for watching us. Again, we'll be back on the air with you Tuesday with the late March roundup right here from General Sports Bowling Group and Sports Blitz Live. You hear right here on 95.9 and 97.5 FM out there. Catch us on Charter Cable.
Hello? Yeah, man, I just picked some up. Wait a second. I think I see some cheaper ice. Hold on